You're listening to Brainbusta Radio.
Hey, yo, Josh, let me get a little bit of reverb. Yeah. J. Will. Yeah, I'm about that lifestyle. I talk green work, repping it all over. It's right on the t-shirt. Fan for a lifetime. Yeah, that's a long pass. Figure I would show some love right on the podcast. Turn this up loud and make sure you don't do nothing else. Cause if you're listening to us, then you're improving your health. My name is J. Will. Welcome to the show, yeah. Wrestle, flow, 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 yeah.
It's here. It's finally here, Kevin. This is Josh. Kevin is here. This is Wrestling Reverb on our debut episode for Brainbusta Radio. How exciting is this, Kevin?
Oh my god, I can't get over it. I feel different. I feel stronger somehow. We're on Brainbusta. We're taking names and we're busting brains, baby.
Oh hell. Oh hell. I am super excited. Not only are we 2 days away from Wrestlemania now. We're on Brainbusta Radio. We're in the midst of Wrestlemania week. We have a lot to cover on this episode. We have hyped the absolute hell out of this because we are genuinely so excited to be here on Brainbusta Radio with all our Brainbusta family. They have been nothing but kind to us. But today, Kevin, what is in store for Wrestling Reverb? How are we going to let people know on Brainbusta that may have never heard us before? How are we going to give them the best show possible? What have we got planned today?
Well, all the niceties and all the goody stuff comes to an end today because we're going mano a mano, Kevin versus Josh, WrestleMania predictions.
Oh, and it's on like Donkey Kong, bitch.
Oh, okay,
fighting words. It's fighting words. You're going down, Kevin. You're going down.
We'll see about that. We'll see.
You're going absolutely down. Now, Kevin, I thought, if you've never listened to Wrestling Reverb, anyone that's listening here on Brainbusta Radio that has never listened to myself or Kevin here on Wrestling Reverb, I thought what better way to give us a sense of who we are, of who me and Josh, I am Josh, me and Kevin are, with then something that we've introduced in the last couple of episodes. It's time for some Kevin versus Australia,
mate. Good day.
Right out the gate this
Good
time.
day,
Okay.
cobber.
Alright, Kevin, it's 1-on-1. For anyone that hasn't listened, we had two very cool little things with Kevin. It's 1-on-1. We had earlier this week, during our Reverb Rewind, we had Kevin lose to Australia. He didn't know what a shoey was. He didn't know. Kevin took the L on that one. But this past episode with the WrestleMania special on Wednesday, we had Kevin got a W. He knew what the AFL was. So for anyone that doesn't know what Kevin versus Australia is, I give Kevin the most random little thing about Australia. I give him something about Australia, and Kevin just tries to explain to me, or tries to tell me, what it is. What is that Australian term, food, entertainment, sport, anything Australian related? So Kevin, today, I have something cool planned. Alrighty, Kevin, do you know what a Tim Tam Slam is?
What?
A Tim Tam Slam.
A Tim Tam Slam. Boy, I must have missed this when I was studying up on my Australian terminology. Okay, so I'm gonna say that a Tim Tam Slam is. I don't even know.
This is great for me. I love this.
Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying this. A Tim Tam Slam. Is it when you slam, you're drinking something, you slam it?
I mean, not the worst guess. Do you know what? let's backtrack a little bit. Kevin, do you know what a Tim Tam is?
No, if I knew what a Tim Tam was, I maybe would know what a Tim Tam Slam was.
All right, so first and foremost, a Tim Tam is it's like it's not veg, it's like Vegemite. It's food. It's a chocolate biscuit with some like chocolate in the middle, and it's just an Australian iconic biscuit, an Australian iconic chocolate. It's like on the level of Vegemite. Tim Tam Slam is when you bite the ends off of two Tim Tams, you bite the corners off, and you suck your drink through it like a straw. Like a chocolate
That's
drink,
silly.
like a hot chocolate, or a coffee, a cup of tea. Kevin, you took another L in this one. Your Brainbusta debut, and you choked.
Well, you gave me a hard one.
I thought people in America knew what Tim Tams were.
No, absolutely no idea what a Tim Tam was.
Well, you know, you should look up on the internet what a Tim Tam is. I'm sure you can get them from some website in America to get them to your house, because you will not regret a Tim Tam. You may regret Vegemite, but you will not regret a Tim Tam. Trust me.
So what's Vegemite?
Oh, man. Okay, so obviously you've heard of Vegemite, yeah?
I've heard of it through you, I believe.
Okay, so Vegemite it's pretty gross to describe. It's nice on some toast. It's like a yeast extract. It's black. You spread it on like a sandwich or like a cracker or some toast with some butter. It's great. It's just what we've grown up on in Australia. But it is, you never eat that shit with a spoon. Anyone that's listening to me, never eat. It's bitter. It's very salty. You don't want to do it. You don't want to eat it with a spoon. Just have a little bit on some toast. Some people like to go a bit crazy. I don't. I just like a little smear of Vegemite. Anyone that knows Vegemite and anyone that's from Australia or just has had Vegemite knows exactly what I'm talking about. But Vegemite, you just have a little bit on a sandwich, or it's really good on toast. I recommend it on toast. But try it. Trust me, Kevin, you'll be able to get it somewhere in your land. You'll be able to get Tim Tams and get Vegemite. Vegemite you might not like straight away. It is very particular. Every Australian has had Vegemite, even if they don't like it.
I'm looking at Google Shop online, and I could, in fact, buy Tim Tams. It says at Walmart. I might have to do that.
Go get some Tim Tams from Walmart then. Get some Vegemite, and trust me.
Oh, how about this? The next item down is literally called an Australian Favorites Gourmet Care Package, and the first two things are Vegemite and Tim Tam cookies.
Thank you. Get that. Get that in your system. I want you to try it, and you tell me you love Tim Tams. There's no way. If you like chocolate, like cookies,
the Tim Tams look good.
Tim Tams you'll love. What else is in that Australian care pack? Or gourmet, whatever it's called.
Let's see. We got Tim Tam cookies, Tiny Teddies.
Oh my god, Tiny Teddies. You have to try Tiny Teddies. They're amazing. They're just little chocolate bears.
Cadbury Boost.
Oh, Boost's okay. Cadbury Boosts are pretty good.
And then Cadbury Cherry Ripe.
Oh, yeah, Cherry Ripe's my favorite. I love some Cherry Ripe.
And that's it.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm getting.
Honestly, sign you up for all of that. Make sure you do not eat that Vegemite with a spoon. You have to promise me, because you hate it. It's gross. I've seen so many videos of people from other parts of the country, and they're like, let's try some Vegemite, and they put that shit on a spoon, and I'm like, oh, yuck. Not even I would eat that on a spoon. Have it on some toast. Just a smear. Just enough to see it. Iconics, I know you're listening out there. They'll agree with me. Tweet me, because, trust me, they will. Just a bit of a smear on some toast with some butter. Mwah. Perfect. Well, this took a turn. Next week on Wrestling Reverb, we're going to eat some food. It'll be a nice ASMR kind of episode. So, Kevin, you took an L. You didn't know what a Tim Tam Slam was. You didn't even know what a Tim Tam was. I'm disappointed.
Forgive me.
I'm disappointed.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
So, I guess the theme for today is Kevin losing. Because that's exactly what's going to happen to you with our WrestleMania prediction episode that we have planned for today.
Yeah, you're running your mouth, Josh. You're running your mouth, and I'm going to allow it because we're doing a show here, and we're trying to amp up the excitement, so I'm going to let you run your mouth. But when push comes to shove, you know it's going to be me who wins.
All right, yep. I like that you think that. That's really nice that you think that. Whatever helps you sleep at night, whatever helps you get through the day, I'm happy to help.
Joke's on you because I don't sleep at night, and I'm going to win.
Oh! Boom, bam. All right, Kevin. Let's not waste any more time with this. We are going to get into our WrestleMania predictions. But quickly, before we do, let's hear from one of our Brainbuster family members. Because, hey, they have shows here on the Brainbuster Radio as well. So let's take a listen to one of our Brainbuster family members' shows.
Hey guys, while Josh is gracing you with his gorgeous Aussie accent and Kevin is blowing your mind with Gratz Talk, just remember to start your week right every Monday by checking out the Wise Owl of Professional Wrestling, Omega Luke, right here on Brainbuster Radio.
Alrighty, Kevin, are you ready? Are you ready for these WrestleMania predictions? I've got the pen and paper in front of me. I'm recording down who you pick. There's no change in this, Kevin. Once you lock it in, you're stuck. You're stuck with that choice, and you're stuck with the loss, I guess.
Oh, keep talking that trash.
Oh, I'm a natural heel, mate. I'm a natural heel.
That's fine. Baby faces always prevail.
Alright. Ask that to everyone that Brock Lesnar's fought. So, alrighty. Kickoff show. We'll start with the kickoff. Keep it in the kickoff kind of zone. Let's start with the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Kevin, I'll let you go first. Who do you think's winning the Women's Battle Royal on the kickoff here at WrestleMania 35?
Okay, so I think there's a bit of an obvious choice, but I'm going to stray away from the beaten path here. I'm going with Sonya Deville. I still think that she is primed to break out. I think this is going to be a big stage for her, a big platform. And I really think she's going to show out. And I think that it's going to come down to Deville and Mandy Rose, and I think Deville's going to get the upper hand.
Interesting choice, Kevin. I can't hate on that choice. Sonya Deville is a great pick. She's just not as great as mine. So what I think is going to happen is that Asuka is going to run through this battle royal. Asuka's going to do so well. She's going to eliminate a lot of women. It's going to be down to her before one Lacey Evans music hits. Because I think Lacey Evans is going to come in right at the end, eliminate Asuka, and she's going to win the WrestleMania Battle Royal.
That's not a bad idea, honestly. I feel like Lacey Evans is also primed for a push.
Yep.
I just, I don't know if they know what to do with her. That's my only concern with Lacey Evans. Is I don't know if the WWE knows what they want to do with her yet. She might not enter the Battle Royal at all. She might make an appearance, but that might be it.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, either. Two very different choices going into the Women's Battle Royal. As we talk about the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, the build's been rushed, to be honest.
It's barely been there.
It's really, the build has been on one show, and it was on SmackDown this week in that 18-person mixed tag team match. It's on the kickoff. I guess it serves this purpose of getting all the ladies on the show. Do you expect much from this match?
No, because I don't think they're willing to put the time in, the writers, that is. I don't think they're really concerned with this match. I honestly think between the two Battle Royals, their focus is going to be on the Andre, because you have the celebrity factor. You never know who might show up to the Women's Battle Royal. Maybe Maria Menounos might be an interesting little surprise entry if they go that route. She's going to be involved with WrestleMania weekend in some capacity.
Yes.
I believe she's hosting the Hall of Fame red carpet show, so she's going to be there.
That is true.
But
she's a former WrestleMania winner.
Yes. Very true.
Undefeated.
So I don't think that this match is going to be anything to write home about. I think it's going to go kind of quick. Rapid fire eliminations. You might get some cool standoffs, but I'm not like crazy excited for this one.
It'll just be a match to get us ready for the main show, I guess. It'll serve its purpose. Battle Royals are always okay. I'm not angry that it's on the show. I mean, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, Battle Royals are always fun.
Yeah, they are. Let's move on here to the Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy will defend against Tony Nese. Now, of course, Kevin, I've told you many times, I'm an avid watcher of 205 Live. And for anyone that doesn't know, Tony Nese won a tournament to challenge Buddy Murphy here at WrestleMania. Now, these two are former training partners, former friends. And they're going to go head-to-head at WrestleMania on the kickoff. I personally am expecting this match to be fairly decent, as the Cruiserweight Championship matches are. So, going into this, before we get your prediction, Kevin, how do you feel about this one? I know you are not a super watcher of 205 Live, but what do you think about Tony Nese getting an opportunity? I know you said to me months ago that you thought Tony Nese was going to be the one to challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship, so you got one right there.
Yeah, give me a goddamn bonus point or something. I love Tony Nese. I've actually loved Tony Nese since 205 Live debuted. At first, it was kind of just to be different because, everyone had their favorites, but no one was a big Tony Nese guy. So I wanted to be different than everybody. But he's really good. And obviously, Buddy Murphy's Buddy Murphy. He's going to deliver a great match every single time out there. That's just how he's wired. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think they're gonna I think they could steal they're gonna steal the pre-show for sure.
Oh yeah,
and they're gonna make everyone else, I have a feeling this is gonna be the first match on the pre-show. Everything that comes afterwards is gonna have to live up to this, and I think they're gonna set that bar pretty high.
Yeah, I agree, Kevin. Who's taken the Cruiserweight Championship home with them following WrestleMania?
Look, I just said it. I love Tony Nese. I think he's capable of being a great champion. That said, I don't think Buddy Murphy's time is done yet. I think Buddy Murphy retains.
Alrighty, so you're going with Buddy Murphy. Now this one, remember, I'm not going with who I love more. I'm going with, I want to win. I want to win. So I'm going to not pick with my heart here. I'm picking with my head. And my head says Tony Nese. Tony Nese is the one to dethrone Buddy Murphy. I think Buddy Murphy's time as Cruiserweight Champion is up. So I'm going Tony Nese on this one. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry, my home country.
You're letting Australia down with that pick. Especially when it's going to be wrong.
Oh. Fighting words. Alrighty. Coming up next, the last match on the kickoff show, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, this one has hey, I'll give it this. This one has had a build. It's just been a little lackluster because, listen, this was just a huge way of having the Weekend Update guys in a WrestleMania match with Braun Strowman. There's just other factors involved with other people. Have you at least enjoyed this feud for what it was?
I think the Weekend Update stuff has been pretty funny, honestly. I love Jost and Shay. I think Jost is doing really well at what they want him to do, just to be the little asshole heel. Mm-hmm. Sort of get Braun riled up, get this feud going. I think Jost has done really well. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing one of the Update guys win the Battle Royal just to see how many people explode.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna argue that because I kind of want the same thing. There's not really too much to say about this. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, we got people like Jeff and Matt Hardy in there, EC3, R-Truth, Shelton Benjamin, the people you would expect to be in there, and you got people like Braun and the Weekend Update guys, of course. If you care to venture a pick here? Who would you say is winning this one?
I honestly like to say who cares, because that's really my level of excitement towards this battle royal. I think I care about the other one more, just because I think they could do more storyline wise with the women. But I think if anybody other than Braun Strowman wins this match, it's almost a farce. I'm going with Braun.
You're going to go with Braun Strowman? What do I say here? There's so many options, but then there's almost no options, if you get what I mean. I'm going to take a stab in the dark, just for argument's sake. I'm going to say... no, do I go with that? Shit. I want to win. I'm going to go Braun Strowman as well.
Yeah, see, at the end of the day, there's no one in there that should be beating him at this point.
Probably not. Just a sidetrack a minute. Do you care about Braun Strowman anymore?
No, I'm done with Braun Strowman. That's not his fault either. They've done nothing. They've bungled him pretty badly.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't care about him anymore. I wasn't a huge Strowman guy to begin with, so that makes it a little bit easier for me to say, well, he's not going to be a main eventer anymore. But it does suck because he had so much potential, and he really was red hot for a while, and they cooled him down so much, so badly. I hate to see that happen to anybody.
Yeah, me too. He was so white hot for so long, and then they just dropped the ball with him. It's a shame, but hey, I guess shit happens. I guess.
That's right.
But anyway, let's move on to the main card. Let's get this show on the road. At this point, the show had already been going for 2 hours, so let's get into this show.
You're still with us? Great.
Yeah, if you're still with us, we're only on match 44 of 87, so we've still got some time to go. Let's get to the main card, and let's start with something big. I know you're excited for this one. Triple H and Batista. The build for this one has been pretty dang good. The promo this week that Batista cut, the 4 words that he said, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Good. Hunter, kiss my ass. Couldn't say it better myself.
I wonder how much they paid Dave. Obviously, Raw was in his hometown, but I wonder how much they paid him to come to the arena just to say 4 words.
Oh man, he would have got paid lots. Would have got paid heaps. As he should. Absolutely. As he should. Now, I know you're a big Batista guy. Now, in this one, if Triple H loses, he must retire from in-ring competition. Is it time for Triple H to hang up the in-ring boots? I know with WWE, you can never say never, but is Triple H done with in-ring competition, at least for this point? Is he going to focus more on his other stuff? Is this the perfect way for him to go out? Is Batista just coming in to have a match with Triple H? It's hard to tell. But if you had to pick one here, again, not with your heart, with your head, are you going Triple H or Batista?
God, this one is tough because I think Batista's done after this, no matter what. So, But it kind of would be cool to see them both wrap their careers up at the same time. So I'm on one hand, I want to lean towards Batista. On the other, I don't think Triple H is ready to hang him up. I know he gets that itch. I don't think he's going to retire for another couple of years. He's only wrestling 1 match a year, so it's not, or 1 or 2. So it's not like he's taking a huge step back. I don't think it really interferes with his executive business that much. So I'm going to say Triple H wins.
Triple H. You're going with Triple H. All right.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I watched the Triple H documentary on the network about a week ago. It's real dang good. I've watched it before, but I hadn't watched it in a while. What a career that man's had. What a absolutely just, all people like to give Triple H a lot of crap, but he is one of the best ever. And it's fitting because I think Batista's going to get this one. I think Batista's going to win this one at WrestleMania. I think we're at, like I said, with WWE, retirement is a very forgotten word, but Triple H is going to lose this one. Batista has got the W in this one.
Ooh, okay. See, I don't mind that you're going the other way there, because if Batista wins, I'll be extremely happy with my heart.
Oh, I know.
It's not my head.
I know you will. Now, moving on from a match that you're the most excited about to the match I'm probably most excited about. It's Shane McMahon and The Miz. This one has been going on essentially since November, since the Best in the World Cup. Shane McMahon, the best in the world, Shane McMahon, is taking on The Miz. One-on-one, Falls Count Anywhere match. Shane's going to jump off something. Shane's going to do something crazy, as he always does. And Miz has come into this. Who knew? Miz is actually a pretty damn good babyface in this role. He's selling it well. This is... People, I just think, aren't giving this match enough credit. I think this build has been incredible. I think it's been simple, but it's been really, really good. It hasn't had any of that complex stuff that people are complaining about with some other matches. It's just been a straight up tag team, one turned on the other, and now we're just getting this every week. And we're going into a Falls Count Anywhere match at WrestleMania this weekend. Kevin, I know we're probably going to be on the same page here, but A, what is Shane McMahon jumping off of? And B, who's winning?
So Shane McMahon is going to jump off the Statue of Liberty, being there in New York. Actually, they're in New Jersey. That's the worst kept secret. They bill it as New York, but it's New Jersey.
They're in New Jersey. MetLife's in New Jersey.
Yes, East Rutherford, New Jersey. But can I just say, I saw a lot of people that were contrary to my opinion on this. I really liked what happened on SmackDown this past Tuesday.
Me too.
With Miz and Sanity. Obviously, people are going to be complaining because Sanity loses in a 3-on-1 match, but it's not about them. It's about The Miz. The Miz looks really strong. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. I'm a sucker for a good Falls Count Anywhere match.
Me too.
It allows you to take it into the crowd, into the backstage. All these sorts of cool things. The world opens up when Falls Count Anywhere. As for what page we're both on, I think we are on the same page, Josh. I'm going with The Miz. It just makes more sense.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to beat around the bush here either. I'm going with The Miz as well. I think Shane will jump off something crazy. There'll be some cool spots in this, but we're Miz both ways here because it would make no sense for Shane to win, in my opinion anyway. This is for The Miz. This feud is for The Miz.
Yeah, and Shane's not here to win matches. He's here to put people over. We've seen it in the past. I think The Miz, I don't think there's any way Shane McMahon even ponders a winning situation here. It
would make zero sense in that regard if Shane went over. But let's move on to a match that a lot of people are excited about, to a match that has some feelings towards it. That would be Kurt Angle's farewell match. Now, we do have Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin scheduled. Now, before I ask for your prediction of this, do you think it stays Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin? Because at one point I wasn't thinking it would be Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. I thought someone was going to sub in, but I'm not so certain that's the case anymore.
I think that we're going to get this match. I think that we might get something afterwards. Mm? But I think we get this match, definitely. With the way they're telling a story, like they're not, I know there's going to be backlash. There's always going to be backlash. I think Corbin and Angle is going to happen whether people like it or not. I just don't think it'll be what people expect.
That's fair. Have you enjoyed, for what it is, taking away anything else, have you enjoyed the build for this match? Because it has had somewhat of one.
I'm not crazy. I'm not like super into this one. And I've said this before on this show. For anyone listening for the first time on Brainbusta Radio, I'm not a big fan of the Kurt Angle farewell tour. I just don't want to watch him wrestle anymore. He can't move. He's going to get hurt. I just have no desire to watch a former terrific athlete turn shell of himself try to go anymore. So I'm not really excited for this one, honestly. I know it's Kurt's last match, and there's going to be a lot of pageantry, and it's going to be cool and all. And I won't begrudge Kurt for having his moment on the grandest stage. I just don't really care for it.
That's fair. I'm not excited, but I'm not excited. I do agree with you in the sense of I think there's gonna be something happen here. I do think we get this match in some capacity, but it's hard to really tell with the way WWE has been lately. But taking everything out, Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin is scheduled. If we're just getting this straight match one-on-one, who do you think is coming out on top?
For me, it's got to be Kurt Angle. I know that the old saying is you go out on your back, but I just don't think the WWE wants to risk the massive hostile reaction they'll get if Corbin wins. I don't think Corbin's hurt by taking a loss here. And I think they want to send Angle out on top, and I think it's going to be Kurt Angle.
Oh, well, you know what? That's fair. I agree with you completely. I just don't think Baron's got this one for all the reasons that you listed. It's Kurt's last match. It's WrestleMania. Kurt's winning this one. I have nothing more to say on that because I want to move on from that match. Coming up next is a match that looks to be in a little bit of jeopardy because of an injury status to the challenger, but as right now it is scheduled the United States Championship, Samoa Joe defending against Rey Mysterio. Now, I alluded to it. Rey is set to undergo some further testing with his ankle. He hurt it on Raw against his match with Baron Corbin. So, at this point, we're still getting it. Now, we're recording about 4 days before WrestleMania, 5 days before WrestleMania. So, I mean, it could change. But at this point, the build for this match has been just backstage segments, really, with Rey's son and everything like that. But they got to tread carefully this week because of Rey's injury. If we're getting Rey and Joe, who takes home the US title?
It's so dependent on Rey's injury because at the time of this recording and before this recording, before Rey got hurt on Raw, I was in Rey's corner. I think Rey, if healthy, is gonna take the belt. He's gonna have his son there. I can't see them doing that where he loses and gets beat up in front of his kid. I know that would be something that would happen at like a fast lane or an elimination chamber, like it happened with Miz and his dad. But I can't see them doing that at WrestleMania. The moment just feels too big. I think Joe's destined for bigger things than this title. I honestly think that he could go on to feud for the WWE title after this. And I think Rey holding the belt adds some prestige. So I'm going with Rey Mysterio.
You're going with Rey. See, I think if we're getting this match, I think the reason for Dominic to be there is because Joe's going to beat up Rey, win the match, and Dominic's going to try and save him. Because Dominic's been training to be a wrestler for a long time. He's had some matches, blah, blah. But I think Dominic gets a run in here over the barricade and, maybe sends Joe packing or something like that. That's why I reckon Dominic is involved in this. So I think Joe wins, and then something happens with Dominic.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But do you expect much from this match? Because I think a lot of people are sleeping on it of how good it could be.
It's two really talented dudes going at it over a belt. I mean, what's not to like? Joe and Mysterio have had they have some chemistry in this sort of the tag matches and stuff where they've been featured. And both are guys that can work well with just about anybody. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This one, people are sleeping on this one just because the United States title is sort of devolved of any real importance. But I think that stops here. I think this match does a wonder in putting some respect back on the United States Championship belt.
I agree with you. The US title is something that's just been... It is a title that just has its ups and downs. It gets attention, and then it gets forgotten about for a long time, and then it comes back. But it does have a lot of prestige behind it. I don't think people realize the lineage of the US title. But, hey, this match could be really, really good, and I think people need to chill out a little bit and actually think about the two people that are in the ring, because they can go. They can go. The contrast of styles will be great, and I really do hope we get this match, but time will tell with that one. Before we head into some more WrestleMania 35 predictions, let's hear from another friend here at Brainbuster Radio.
Whether you're a Sheila or a Cobber, you know you're listening to Wrestling Reverb. This is a public service announcement from Mags from the Badlands podcast on Brainbuster Radio.
Alrighty, we heard from another one of our friends here on Brainbuster Radio. We are here. It is Friday. We are here on Brainbuster Radio. And just a little PSA, a little public service announcement. I know I've been saying that you will not find Wrestling Reverb the way you have been every Friday. I said it would be exclusive to Brainbuster Radio, but here's an update. Things change. So you will still find it on my feed, however, it'll be a little later than Brainbuster Radio. So where you can catch it first, where you can catch this episode you're listening to right now on Brainbuster Radio, you'll catch it always every week here first, and it'll come on my feed a little bit later on. But nonetheless, let's move on with some more WrestleMania 35 predictions here on Brainbuster Radio. We got one that could steal the show. This one could easily steal the show with the talent involved. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and did this one turn up to 11 this past week on SmackDown Live with some brutally honest comments from both men. I think this build to this match has been absolutely fantastic. I think I am very involved in this one, and I'm very aware of how good this one could be. Kevin, is your excitement level there for this one?
These are two guys that have been stalwarts of wrestling for 15 some odd years now. Styles with TNA, Orton with the WWE. It's a clash of the guard. It's it's Orton protecting the WWE versus Styles and his independent flavor. I really think these guys. It's something we have. It's a dream match in a way that we're getting. I think it's a little underplayed in all this. Is that this is a dream match.
Yeah.
This is a match you never thought you'd see. And I think it's going to be great.
Me too. Wholeheartedly agree. What do you think about some of these comments that are coming out of both of these men's mouths? Because, damn, they are real. They are very honest.
As our friend Becky Lynch would say, they are spitting some straight fire on the microphone. They have gotten personal. There are no more boundaries. We've referenced TNA. We've referenced the Randy Orton failed drug tests. These guys are not pulling any punches here. It just makes the match that much more important.
Yeah. Ugh, man, it's been good. This one has been... Man, they could steal the show, in my opinion. They could really steal the show of the whole thing. Who do you think's got this one? Because it's 50-50. It could go either way.
Yeah, this one's tough to pick because, they're very evenly matched, and they both... I don't think a loss hurts really either of them, and I think a win helps. I'm going with AJ Styles just because, for one reason... We got the Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere spot on Tuesday. He hit it off the phenomenal forearm. Very good looking RKO, by the way.
Yes.
And now I think it's Styles' turn to get him back with that.
I can't hate on that. I agree with you. I think AJ Styles is walking out with the victory as well. Here's a little tidbit for you. Because of the level of, just the level of talent in this ring and how much it could really be great, where's the placement on the card for this one? Because I think this one could probably kick off the show.
I don't know if it kicks off the show. I think it's gonna have a solid, more closer to the main event placement than the beginning of the show.
Okay.
I think somewhere in the middle heading towards the back.
That's fair. No, that's fair. Nonetheless, this match is going to be great. Just those two don't really have bad matches at all. So I believe they've gone one-on-one maybe once on SmackDown a few years ago, and from memory it was pretty dang good. But they've been kept fairly distant obviously for a reason.
Yeah, definitely, and it's with good reason that we're getting this match now, and it feels fresh.
Yeah.
SmackDown has a way of always, they cycle through matchups in a way that it always feels fresh.
Yeah.
I think that Raw has a problem with that, where they sort of recycle matches instead of giving us these fresher matchups. So SmackDown is in the driver's seat with that, and I think this is going to be really good.
Yeah, I agree with you. This one's going to be good. I could talk about this match all day. But let's move on to something else. We have a fatal 4-way tag team match for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships. We have the Usos defending against Ricochet and Aleister Black, The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, and Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this one was only made official this week on SmackDown. Not too much of a build, not too much to really talk about. So, who do you think's walking away with the Tag Team Championships?
I think the Usos retain. I feel like this is a match cobbled together by circumstance rather than story. I think Ricochet and Aleister Black are going to be more of a factor on Raw than they are on SmackDown. So I don't see them winning, and I can't conceivably see either of the heel teams winning. The Bar had their time in the sun. Nakamura and Rusev's not a real tag team. My God, how far Shinsuke Nakamura has fallen since last WrestleMania. Let's just talk about that for a minute. He was in a dream match last year, one of the best, one of the most hyped matches that we've had in a long time. Didn't necessarily deliver on the level that we thought it would, but it wasn't a bad match, and it was on a prominent spot in the card. Now he's just sneaking on the last possible second. He's sneaking onto the card here. I hate to see that for him. Nakamura is a talent, but he's not going to win on Sunday. It's going to be the Usos retaining.
Yeah, Nakamura has fallen a lot in the last year. I mean, it is what it is. We can't control it. But it is a shame to see what a year can do to someone's career. I don't think he's ruined. I think everyone is... they can rekindle what they had, but... Oh man, it's better to be on the card than not on the card, I guess, so... There is that. But, contrast to what I'm saying, I actually think Rusev and Nakamura are going to win this one. Call me crazy. But they're kind of a team that have been floating for a little while. And it almost to the point where WWE don't have a lot of options in this one regarding a few matches, regarding the top matches, for shock value. Just pure shock value alone. Nakamura and Rusev are probably the ones to do that in this match. They're the ones that probably people are talking about least. They have a little bit of a buzz behind them on social media with this salty crap that Lana keeps going on about. Nonetheless, it has people talking. So they do have somewhat of a buzz. I think Nakamura and Rusev, but it is a little bit of a stab in the dark, I understand.
Yeah, that's not what I expected to hear.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Shock value. Vince McMahon would love me. Do you expect much from this match? Because it probably will be quite fun.
Yeah, I think this is going to be I think this match will kick off the show.
Oh, yeah.
I think between the Usos, Ricochet and Black, Cesaro, you have tons of talent in this match. All 8 guys are talented.
Yeah. And
when you put 8 guys in a ring together, they're going to make magic. And then Fatal four-way tag matches are tough because you only have the two legal guys, but it does create for some cool moments, some strategic moments. I kind of like the stipulation. I think it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I think it could be really, really fun. The level of talent is great. They had an 8-man tag match on SmackDown this week, and it was fun. And they try. That's the thing with the tag team division. I've been noticing a lot. I mean, I noticed a lot with it throughout time with tag team wrestling, but they really want tag team wrestling to be as big as it can be. And whether you're on Raw or SmackDown, they give it their 110%, especially in a place like WrestleMania. So it could really, really be fun. Coming up next, we have Bobby Lashley defending the Intercontinental Championship against not Finn Balor the man, but rather the Demon. The Demon is returning to, well, his first time ever at WrestleMania, the Demon. Let's be honest here. Is there any way the Demon loses to Bobby Lashley?
No, this shit is so corny.
You don't like it?
Not really. I love the Demon for a long time, but I feel like they've gone away from it for so long that I don't think Balor needs it anymore. And I also just, the segment that played out on Raw, where he did the hiss and stuck his tongue out, that was weird.
That's fair. I actually like, I mean, isn't that just an extension of what the Demon has always kind of been? I know it can come across a little bit corny, so I understand where you're coming from, but nonetheless, there's no way the Demon's losing here. No way.
No chance.
No way. There's not really even much to talk about here. It's just basically the title changed hands a couple of times. We have Leo involved, but now that the Demon's involved, there's really not a lot of chance for Bobby Lashley here.
Cool for Leo Rush, though. He's going to be on the main show.
Yeah, well, hey, they're on the main show, and who cares? There's something you can say.
Yeah.
Well, we'll move on to another one-on-one contest. This one is Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns' first singles match since his return from beating leukemia. Cool to see Roman back. I'm glad they held off for his one-on-one match to be at WrestleMania. Again, I don't really see too much of a chance of Drew winning this one. So I'll just go ahead and say that I think Roman Reigns has got this one.
I hate it. I hate to say it, but I 100% agree. I think the loss is going to hurt McIntyre. I would want McIntyre to win, but it's Roman Reigns' first match back, and you're not going to have him lose his first match back. His first singles match back.
No way. Do you think people are sleeping on how good this one could be? Because
this one's going to be just two powerhouses slugging it out.
Yeah.
I'm not like a huge McIntyre fan, but his work the last couple of weeks I thought has been really good.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns is always at the top of his game. I'm so excited to see him back in the ring. I can't wait because he's going to move on to bigger and better things from this. McIntyre is clearly just a stepping stone for him to get back into title contention. So, yeah, I think Roman walks away with this one, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, this one will be really good. It's going to be very hard hitting. I'm expecting a lot of heavy shots and a lot of brawling in this one, to be honest.
Yeah, not a technical masterpiece, but a good wrestling match.
Yeah, it'll be fun. An entertainment spectacle. That's what WrestleMania is all about. But moving on. We've had one Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match already, but we will get two when the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships will be defended for the first time ever at WrestleMania. It's the Boss and Hug Connection defending those championships against the Divas of Doom, Beth Phoenix and Natalya, Nia Jax, and the Iconics. That's right, the Iconics are wrestling at WrestleMania. Suck it, everyone.
Yeah.
So, I actually think the build for this match has been pretty good. It's been fairly simple, but I actually think for what it is, they're building a multi-team match, and they're not just throwing it together. There actually is reasoning behind all these teams kind of getting a shot at the tag team titles. So, kudos to that one. Have you enjoyed the build to this one?
Yeah, this is the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match that we should be getting. The other one, I thought they could have done better with the SmackDown Tag Titles. I think that was sort of just cobbled together. This one they've built to.
Yeah.
This one, every team, the Divas of Doom deserve to be there. The Iconics deserve to be there. Nia Jax and Tamina deserve to be there. No matter what anyone says, they all deserve to be there, and they all deserve their shot at the Women's Tag Team Championships.
I agree. Now, who do you think's walking away? Women's Tag Team Championship, Women's Tag Team Championships, Women's Tag Team Champions, I should say. Because I know there is an obvious pick, but there's a lot of bodies in there. So it might not go as obvious as you think. But who do you think's getting the win in this one?
God, I want to say the Iconics really bad. I really want to say it. But Bayley and Banks retain.
All right. What? I know what you're thinking. Is there any way I can bet against my girls? After a lot of thinking and a very hard think about this one, I've sat down and I'd be like, I want to win. I can't go with my heart. I have to go with my head. Can I pick the Iconics? Fuck yes, I can.
Nah.
The Iconics are winning this one. I'm actually genuinely think the Iconics are going to win. They've taken the loss. They've been kind of forgotten about. They're the complete, dirty, disgusting heels that they should be. They're corny. Everyone thinks they're annoying. They only win when it really, really, really matters. They don't win a lot because they're heels and they should lose. However, I think they're going to steal it, and I think the Iconics are going to do it. Hear me out, though, because WWE knows that this is a global event. Therefore, they have to cater to every part of their audience. They put the titles on here to say they are the first ever Australian champions to win at WrestleMania. It is a tagline that the Iconics can run with, and they drop the belts a month later.
Okay. See, I think that's more likely. I think that the titles changing hands in this Fatal 4-Way Tag match are more likely than the other one. I just cannot get over saying Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match. It's such a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
And we have it twice on this card. I cannot believe they did two of the same exact, odd stipulation match.
I thought one of them would at least be elimination. I hope this one is an elimination because that changes my pick entirely. I don't want elimination rules in either of them, but I mean...
Yeah, I don't like elimination rules in my tag matches.
Me either. Because it takes away that spontaneous kind of shock value, because if it's elimination, it'll be down to Beth, Natty, and Bayley and Sasha. That's what will be happening, I think. But if it's not, it opens up the door to have some swerves.
You could get that surprise win without the elimination stipulation. You have shock value is in play.
Yeah. To be honest, I think this match it has the potential to be good. There's a lot of elements in there that could make it really good. And I don't think it'll be like a show-stealing performance, but it has the potential to be a nice, fast-paced match.
It could, yeah. I haven't been that impressed with what I've seen out of this whole story in-ring wise. I like the story, but I haven't been greatly impressed by the work yet. But I think this is this is WrestleMania. Everyone brings their best to the table. I think this is going to be a thriller.
Yeah, I think it could be really fun. It has a lot of chance to make some new stars. It does. But nonetheless, should be fun. Now we're getting down to the main events. Our 3 top matches here. I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything because there's a lot. But I believe we've only got our 3 top title matches left. Yes. Okay. So, let's start with the Universal Championship match. We have Brock Lesnar defending his championship against Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins. Now, this has been a typical Brock Lesnar build. Nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's just what we've seen. However, Seth and Brock has the potential to be really fun. Now, I don't care what anyone says. You can never be 100% sure in a Brock Lesnar match of exactly who's winning. You never know. What happens here, Kevin? Because, I mean, number one, I think this match will be really good. I do hope that you think that as well. And number two, how do you predict this one?
I hope it's good. Lesnar has two distinct types of matches. He has really good matches, and he has matches where he just throws F5s and suplexes and doesn't sell. You usually see that with the bigger opponents like Strowman, like Reigns. But I really think he's gonna have a fun match here with Rollins. The closer we've gotten now to the show, if you asked me this question a month ago, I would have said Rollins, no doubt. But I think Brock Lesnar is gonna retain.
Brock Lesnar retaining his championship. I'm hoping for an absolutely just wonderful match between these two because, like you said, when Lesnar wants to, he can put on some great matches with the right person, and Seth is that person. I think Brock's going to retain as well. I don't know. There's something about me that just says I can't pick against Brock, and it's just something about me that says Seth isn't going to win the Universal Championship. There's too many factors in my mind to pick against Brock. And I don't like saying it because I want Seth to win. I do. I just don't think he will.
Yeah, there's just something about Brock. Like, we saw it in last year's WrestleMania where everyone and their mother was betting on Roman Reigns to beat Lesnar, and they went with Lesnar. I feel like that people are doing that again. I feel like a lot of people think Rollins is going to win, and I feel like they're going to do it just to swerve and maybe take the belt off Brock at a later date.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I just genuinely hope it's good. Result aside, I really hope it's a good match. They have it there, and I know they can do it, but it's a long show. It depends on where the placement of this match is, and not only that, it depends on Brock's mood, I think. In all honesty, I think it depends on where Brock's head's at.
It's a huge factor. Whether Brock wants to show up or not is huge, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I wish I could be like that at work, to be honest with you. Get paid a lot of money and do whatever the fuck I want.
So I'm not going to do shit.
But, nonetheless, hoping for the best. Another match that everybody is very much emotionally involved in is the WWE Championship match. Daniel Bryan defending against one Kofi Kingston. Now, if you said to me a year ago that Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston would be one of the main events at WrestleMania, I probably would have told you to stop watching wrestling because you're stupid. But man, we're getting Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan in a WWE Championship, one of the main event matches at WrestleMania. Emotionally, it's arguable. Some people will probably say the triple threat, but there's not a lot more emotionally invested in than this. This is pretty damn organic and pretty great. And what a weird journey. 5 years ago, we were talking about heading into WrestleMania 30 with one Daniel Bryan. Can he overcome the odds? Can he do this rise? And now it's pretty much the same story with Kofi Kingston, or very similar at least. Kofi's the B+ player. Bryan's the champion. Bryan's the one on top. Oh man, has this been quite the journey? Ups and downs. I think this story has been 100% perfect, and they've done it perfectly. I just really have enjoyed this journey to the WWE Championship match. Honestly, I couldn't give a damn about the actual match itself, wrestling quality-wise, although I know it's going to be great. But it doesn't even matter because my emotion will be that much over-controlling anything that actually, happens regardless of the near falls and the result. Can Kofi do it? Are we banking too much on Kofi Kingston here? Is this the WrestleMania moment that we're going to get? Or is Bryan going to cut him off? I think that, I'm just really, really excited for that feeling. Because remember at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, we got lost in it. I said to you, I said to other people on some other shows, I said I felt like a kid watching wrestling again. It didn't matter what it was. It didn't matter it can't happen here because of WrestleMania. It can't happen, blah, blah, blah. That is the emotion I'm going to be experiencing in this match. It's going to be intense. I'm watching WrestleMania with friends, and we will all be on the edge of our seats. Fingernail biting kind of stuff. Kevin, what's your thoughts on this match, and can Kofi do it?
If you go back 2 years ago to WrestleMania 33, Kofi Kingston was the host.
Yeah.
One of the hosts. He wasn't on the card. Daniel Bryan was retired. He was no longer cleared to wrestle. So to come just 2 years since then, and this is the WWE title match, Bryan and Kingston. It's an incredible rush of emotions that I get just saying that. It really, really speaks to my heart that these two guys who have worked so hard to get to where they are, they've overcome so many obstacles, and they're getting to put on a WWE title match for the fans that is going to kick some serious ass. Now, I kind of agree with you in a sense that the match quality itself is second nature right now. It's the story we're involved. It's the story we're wrapped up in. And I had that same feeling when I watch Kofi anymore, and I'm like, I want him to win. I don't care if it makes sense. I don't care if the story is right. He's just the guy that I want to see win. And you know what? He's going to win on Sunday. Kofi Kingston will win the WWE Championship on Sunday.
Kofi Kingston. You're going with Kofi Kingston. You want to see that dream that... I can picture it. I can picture that win, and man, jeez. I could see myself getting very, very emotional in that moment because I don't think there's anything more organic than this. I really don't. And it's completely it's just come out of the blue. It's completely out of just one man's injury is another man's opportunity. Man, if Mustafa Ali didn't get injured, we wouldn't probably be getting this at all. Weird to think where we'd be, but this has so much behind it. That place is going to be rocking. I know MetLife is an open stadium, I'm pretty sure, but if you could raise the sky at all, I think this one will be doing it because it's going to be intense. For me, I am going to agree with you. I think Kofi's got it. I think he does. I think we're getting that moment. And I can't really say I'm angry about it because, god dang, it's going to be great. If Bryan was to do this, if Bryan was to get the win, I can't say I'd really be angry. Because I like Bryan. However, I just think it's the right time. Because if you don't do Kofi now, I don't think it'll have that organic feeling to do it later on.
No, I agree. If they don't do this now, they're never going to do it. Kofi will never get that moment if they don't do it now. Bryan's a great champion. He's doing great character work. He's not going to go anywhere after this. He's going to be fine. Kofi's going to be a champion.
Well, man. Can you just at all even imagine what's going to be kind of going on with you in your brain, with what you're not going to be able to control your body in this match? I could imagine. If you're anything like me watching wrestling, I'll be standing up and just involved in this. I'll be 10 years old again.
I'm gonna go nuts for this match. I'm gonna be standing, cheering, screaming at the TV, all that good stuff that makes me feel like I can go back to a time where wrestling wasn't so, the curtain wasn't pulled, so to speak. know about I didn't know about the inner machinations of the business. I didn't know about all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I just know that two guys are out there wrestling, and I want one guy to win, and that guy is Kofi Kingston.
Man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, we do have one more match here on our debut of Brainbusta Radio, WrestleMania 35 predictions. Before we get to that, we're going to hear from one more friend here on Brainbusta Radio, and then when we come back, we're going to talk Charlotte, Becky, Ronda. We'll be back in just a second.
Hi everyone, it's the Queen of NE, and you're listening to Wrestling Reverb right here on Brainbusta Radio, where you can also find me on Queen's Court every Wednesday.
Alrighty, Kevin, it is main event time. Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion, and Becky Lynch, the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble winner. Triple threat match, winner take all for both Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. This build has been crazy. It has been very complex. They did not go the simple route with this one. Some people didn't like it, some people did. I float somewhere in the middle. I would change some things, but I kind of like complex stuff sometimes. However, we cannot understate, this is a history-making moment. I hope the first of many women's main events at WrestleMania. It's definitely been a concept that's been at least come to fruition in the last couple of years. The conversation has been there. Women can main event WrestleMania. Again, for a completely different reason than Kofi, my emotions will be in this one because I've personally waited for this moment for a long time. The women, this is probably the biggest step they can take in the women's evolution. I really do think there's nothing bigger than this. However, I just hope that it's the first of many, at least, opportunities to say, hey, they could main event. I'm glad they announced it. I'm glad they're hyping it. It deserves to be the main event. This story has essentially been building since SummerSlam. It's going to be good. This past week put me over the top with how much I want to see this match, with just the over-the-top, completely extra, ridiculous, in a great way, segment that was on Raw. It really has got my interest peaking even higher, because I feel like there is a little bit of a lack here. We did go through a little bit of a phase where Becky was the hottest in the industry. I'm not saying she isn't now, but there definitely was a little bit of a lull. We did go down a little bit on Becky. I don't think she is as hot as she was, but in this match alone, she's going to be loved. She still is very loved. I think this one could be really, really great. They have a lot of pressure. You know, if they don't deliver, there might not ever be another women's match to main event WrestleMania. It's a lot riding on their shoulders. It is a long show. People are going to be gassed by the time this one comes on. They have a lot of expectation to live up to. There's just a lot riding on all three of those ladies' shoulders. Now, of course, this match changed dramatically when Charlotte Flair won the SmackDown Women's Championship. This is now winner-take-all. Kevin, what's your thoughts going into this one? Before we get who you think's going to win, have you enjoyed this ride?
I just can't believe we're here. Like, it's the same thing with Kofi, where if you told me this like 2 years ago that women were going to be main eventing WrestleMania, I would have told you, you know, maybe 10, 15 years down the road. I didn't think now would be the time, but I'm so glad that now is the time, because the time is right.
Yeah.
This is the best story going right now. Everything else has been great, but this has been the story in WWE for months.
Yeah.
You know, heading back to SummerSlam, like you said. You've got all the titles. You got the man, the queen, and the baddest woman on the planet squaring off. I think this match is going to be a lot like Ronda and Charlotte at Survivor Series. That violence, that absolute slugfest.
Yep.
I think we're gonna see a lot of. I think we might see some weapons come into play. Triple threat rules. There are no disqualifications. That will be huge if they actually stick to that. That's how it should go. I think it's going to be an absolute brawl. And I think it's going to be something that we're all talking about the next day.
I agree. I agree with you completely. They have to go all out for this one. They can't rest on their laurels at all. They have to do everything they can to make sure this match is as best as it can be. The talent is there. Charlotte Flair is absolutely incredible. Becky Lynch is absolutely incredible. And Ronda Rousey is absolutely incredible. As much as some people don't want to admit it, Ronda's a natural in this business. We've seen her deliver on countless occasions. And it's a triple threat match, so it can be fast-paced. You can let a lot of the other kind of stuff with Becky and Charlotte kind of take control. And then Ronda and Charlotte, Ronda and Becky. The possibilities are kind of endless in this one. Like you said, no DQ, no countouts. They can be as physically hard-hitting as they want to be. I just hope it stays with just the three of them and there's not too many. I don't think there'll be too much outside interference. I really don't. But hey, I mean, WWE have done crazier things before. But I just want this match to be just go correctly. Nothing, they'll get the time. They've obviously got the attention. The ball is in their court. They've just got to dunk it at this point. There's only one more thing left to do, and that's the match. They've done the build. They've built up everything as best as they could. They have 3 huge stars in this ring, and they have the potential to deliver, which I think they will. I don't really have too many doubts that they won't. I do think this match is going to be great, especially in a triple threat scenario, because I mean, you have room for leverage and you have room to work around everything. The Ronda stuff has been controversial, albeit it's been a little brutally honest. But hey, it's turned her into an ultimate bad guy. It really has. Regardless of what she says, it's a work shoot. We all know what it is, but it's fun. It's got us talking. Charlotte Flair being injected into this match got a lot of people talking. Some people didn't agree that it should be a triple threat. Some people did. But it got a lot of people talking. And Becky Lynch is the talk of the industry for the last 6-8 months. So she's got a lot of people talking. There's a lot of eyes on this match. It's history making and it's bound to be incredible. Now, Kevin, I know that at one point it probably seemed pretty obvious that we're going to both pick Becky Lynch. However, now that it's winner take all, now that there's some other elements, and now that we've got the build that we have, are you as certain as before that Becky's got this one? Because it could go either way.
Yeah, I'm not certain at all anymore. Adding Charlotte to the match with the SmackDown Women's title especially adds such another wrinkle to this whole scenario. That said, I'm riding with my heart as well as my head here. I'm still thinking Becky Lynch is going to win.
You're going with Becky. You want that moment at the end of Mania, don't you? Becky Lynch holding up the titles high.
Yes, we deserve a happy moment to go off the air. We haven't had it in 3 years.
That's true. And I hate to do this because the last 2 matches we agreed on, but I do agree. I think Becky's got this one. I'm not going to be silly here and just try to be different just to be different. I think Becky's got this. I do think we're going to get that moment, the pyro going off. And it'll be a very feel-good ending to WrestleMania leading into the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania. Alright, Kevin, we've got a few of the same, but that's alright. We've got enough difference here to stand out from each other. Here's another little thing as we kind of write out this Brainbuster debut episode. What match, if you had to pick one match that was going to steal the show, what have you got?
So it's interesting because I actually just wrote an article about this for the Chair Shot that I submitted today. If I'm picking one match off this card to steal the show, I'm picking Shane and Miz. I think they had the potential to do something really great And with that stipulation, that falls count anywhere step, you just don't know what they're capable of. They could do literally anything. I think that's the one people are going to be, that's the one that has the most potential in my eyes.
You go with Shane Miz. I'm sticking to my laurels here. I think Styles and Orton is going to steal the show. I think it's pretty incredible what those two could do in that match, but Shane and Miz is going to be also great. There's not really a lot of room for shit to be bad on this card because everything has potential to be really good. Everything. The seeds are all there. I think with the build for this... Well, actually, the build in this last week has got me really hyped for WrestleMania. They did a good job this week, but they should have been doing that weeks ago. But that's nonetheless, I am very excited for this whole card. I think we're in for a good show. We're in for a long show, but that's WrestleMania. We're in for a good show, though. What's your deal on this? Do you think we're going to get a really great WrestleMania?
Just looking at this card, I have a feeling this could be the best WrestleMania we've had in years.
On paper, it looks great. It really, really does. Think we're in for a really fun time. Now, we're going to, on our WrestleMania recap show, straight after WrestleMania, we're going to be recording, and stay a bunch on my Twitter because I might see about trying to do something live. I don't know yet, so don't hold me to that. But straight after WrestleMania, we're going to be running down exactly what took place at the event. It's going to be a huge show. We're going to see who won this predictions kind of contest. Go to Wrestling Reverb's Twitter right now and vote if you're on Team Kevin or Team Josh. Who do you think's going to win this one? Don't worry, we're not taking anything personally. It's just a bit of fun.
I'm taking this extremely personally.
So that means vote for me because, well, hello. Obviously, I don't need to explain.
You keep talking that shit.
I have to get the last word in, don't I?
Shit. We'll see what happens when the dust settles on Sunday, pal.
And you know what's even better? I hope everyone picks you. Pick Kevin. Because you can all be wrong and I can bask in my glory when I'm on top with the victory and being like, yeah, you should have picked me. I'm going to be that scumbag heel. I don't give a shit.
Now, pick me because it's a huge self-esteem boost whether or not I win.
Yeah, well, hey, yeah, there you go. You want to give him the pity points? Go ahead. Good job, everyone.
Take him. I'll gladly take him.
But yeah, please go to our Twitter. You've got a few days to vote in that before the big show and see whose team you're on, see if you're right or wrong. And, man, so cool to finally be saying we're on Brainbuster Radio. We're part of this huge Brainbuster family. We have we got to up our game a lot here because we've got some great shows on Brainbuster Radio. Make sure you catch the rest of the week here on the week where we're leading you into the weekend. But as you go into the weekend, catch the rest of the Brainbuster debut week. And please make sure you go to Wrestling Reverb as well on Twitter, as well as our Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find podcasts. You can find Wrestling Reverb. We still have our shows a couple times a week, as well as our Brainbuster episode. Of course, like I said before, you'll find Brainbuster with Wrestling Reverb first, and a little bit later on, it'll be uploaded to the normal feed you're used to finding it on. But I please do encourage you to go and subscribe to Brainbuster Radio because you won't regret it at all. Now, as we kind of float out of this episode, some of my Brainbuster brothers and sisters, sister in Queen, sent in their predictions for the 3 top title matches here at WrestleMania. So we're going to end this episode by me and Kevin are going to sign off and we're going to give you those predictions. Kevin, would you like to say anything as we head into those predictions from our lovely Brainbuster family?
Just want to reiterate, if you haven't subscribed to Brainbuster Radio yet, you have to do so. You're missing out on some tremendous content and more importantly, some tremendous people.
Yeah.
We really, really are a family here at Brainbuster, and we all put each other over. I think I do it pretty well. Just get on whatever platform you find your podcasts on. Brainbuster Radio, subscribe, and you will not be sorry.
Yeah, I agree completely. We're not just Brainbuster, kind of a Brainbuster family. We have a group chat on Twitter, and it is just, we just chat. We just like to have a chat. We're all genuinely friends with one another. I consider all of these people friends, except Kevin. We don't actually like each other. We just do this, don't we, Kevin?
Yeah, we just do this out of commitments to contracts and stuff.
Yeah, because I was going to sue him. It was a whole legal thing. We won't get into it, but I can't talk about that on air because the lawsuit won't allow me to.
Still pending.
Yeah, it's still pending. Don't want to get in trouble here. Don't want to be going to jail at all. So we can't do that. Nah, I love Kevin to bits. He is my Wrestling Reverb brother.
Oh.
Disgusting, aren't we? No, we're great. We're pretty great, but I'm just that little bit better. So as we kind of end here at Wrestling Reverb, like we said, go and subscribe to Brainbusta Radio, and we're going to leave you with some Brainbusta family members' predictions for WrestleMania 35. Peace out.
Well, hey, Wrestling Reverb listeners. It's your girl, the Queen of NE here. Quick hello to my friends, Josh and Kevin. Thank you for asking me to send these predictions to you boys, alright? Josh and Kevin, dear listeners, have asked me to make my WrestleMania predictions for Kofi versus Bryan, Ronda versus Becky versus Charlotte, and Seth versus Brock. Now let me first preface this by saying I'm recording this on a Tuesday afternoon because I want to make sure that they get it, and I'm a little busy towards the end of the week. So things may change, and so I'm going to reserve the right to change my mind just in case any, interesting things happen this evening on SmackDown or over the Twitterverse as they tend to do. I'm going to start with saying I don't think we get both Seth and Kofi winning here. And if I'm going with my gut, I think I've made my choices. So I'm going to start with Seth versus Brock, the match that I'm least excited for. I feel like I should be more excited for it because Seth is great, but I don't know. I feel like all of the other matches right now are overshadowing this match for me at least. But I'm hoping, it'll be good when I see it on Mania Day. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that one of two things is going to happen here with Seth. He's going to lose straight, several F5s, takes him down. Brock retains. And then I think Brock retains until SummerSlam and then drops the belt to go do his UFC stuff. Or maybe he keeps the belt to do his UFC stuff. I don't know. I got to think about that. But anyway, so either he loses clean, and that's what happens, or we've all been swerved, Dean Ambrose isn't retiring, and he costs Seth the match, and if it's not Dean, it could be Roman. That's what I think. But either way, regardless, Seth loses here at this point. Kofi versus Bryan, I think Kofi wins here. I think the build has been so hot that if anything else were to happen, people would riot. And, me personally, I would love him to win. So I'm all for that. I had originally thought a couple weeks ago that perhaps Big E was going to turn heel and cost Kofi the match, which still potentially could occur, but I'm thinking probably not. And I also kind of think it's going to be a short run for Kofi. Ronda versus Becky versus Charlotte, the main event, the women, which they just announced last night on Monday Night Raw, is now winner take all. One of two things is going to happen here. Okay? Option one, Becky wins, and she's the first undisputed women's champion. 2, Ronda wins here because Shayna Baszler loses the night before at TakeOver. And we get a Shayna Baszler call-up soon for them to start their feud. And that will occur until Ronda is ready to take her vacation. And that is what I think for the 3 main events now. I could be totally wrong. I could be right. I'm really not quite sure at this point because the last couple of weeks on WWE have had a lot of swerves, have had a lot of unexpected things occurring. So I'm not as confident as I usually am about my predictions, but I feel pretty solidly that what I've said here, something in here is going to resonate, right? Something's going to take. At least I hope so. Well, thank you so much, Kev and Joshi, for having me on. Wrestling Reverb listeners, I love you guys. Please come check me out on Queen's Court every Wednesday here on Brainbusta Radio. You know, we have a little bit of fun over here at Queen's Court. It's a fan interactive show, so I hope to see you there and enjoy this time. It's Mania Week. It's here, finally, WrestleMania. Please find me at the Queen of NE on Twitter or at X the Queen of NE on Instagram. Thanks so much, boys.
What's happening, wrestling fans? This is Conrad Cushman from Everything Pro Wrestling, and I'm here on Wrestling Reverb to give my prediction to the 3 big title matches at WrestleMania 35. First and foremost, I wanted to say that I love the Wrestling Reverb podcast, so a big shout out to Josh and Kevin. I appreciate the hard work, fellas. Keep up the good work. But let's get into the WWE title match first. We have the champion, Daniel Bryan, being challenged by Kofi Kingston of New Day. Kofi Kingston has lucked into a spot due to an injury from Mustafa Ali, and I do feel that it is Kofi Kingston's time. The people are behind him. Everybody's loving him, but Daniel Bryan is also doing awesome heel work at the moment. 5 years ago at WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan was the biggest babyface in the company, and at this very moment, I think we could say it's either Kofi Kingston or Becky Lynch asking for that exact same spot now. And I feel that you can have a historic moment by having Kofi Kingston capture the WWE title, something that you could use to sell shirts, DVDs, and merch for years down the line. I think it could truly be a special moment. Let's talk about the Universal title match next. We have the Royal Rumble winner Seth Rollins challenging Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. The build to this has been lackluster, something that has been poor every week since the Royal Rumble, in my opinion. I think that they're going to go out there, though, and have a really good match still. I do feel that this is one of those situations where you got to look at the rest of the card, and all these matches can't have happy endings for the titles at WrestleMania. Some stories are going to have to continue, and I feel Rollins' story is going to have to continue as he moves towards trying to become the Universal Champion. With that being said, I predict Brock Lesnar wins because why not? He's already been champ for this long and been missing on Raw. What's a couple more months? Next, we have the women main eventing WrestleMania 35. What a big deal and a tremendous honor for these 3 women. We have the Royal Rumble winner Becky Lynch challenging Charlotte Flair, who is the SmackDown Live Women's Champ, and Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champ. All 3 women bring something different to the table for this. And this one is not as easy as you think, because this is where they could throw a curveball in there and swerve us. But in my heart of hearts, I do believe that Vince McMahon is going to make the right call and do the right thing. And I predict that Becky Lynch will be walking out of WrestleMania with at least 1 title.
Hello, Josh. Hello, Kevin. Hello, listeners of Wrestling Reverb. These are my predictions for the 3 world title matches at WrestleMania. First, we'll go with Seth versus Brock. In my view, I think this is the time that WWE are going to pull the trigger on Brock dropping the title. I think Brock is probably UFC bound this time, and the storyline is ready-made for Seth to be the number 1 guy on Raw. Even with Dean leaving or not leaving, whichever the case may be, there's already a ready-made storyline there with Roman versus Seth to build into after WrestleMania. So, yep, I believe that Seth walks out of WrestleMania as Universal Champion. Next, we'll go with the women's 3-way, Becky versus Ronda versus Charlotte. Again, I think the story being told is that Becky is going to be the face of Raw after this match, and I can't see any reason to go against that. She is the number one star in WWE right now. It would make absolute sense for her to walk out of WrestleMania as the champion, as the people's champion. Whether Ronda leaves after WrestleMania, I don't think that she's going to. Obviously, I'm quite happy that Charlotte was in the match because I believe that she deserves it after carrying the division on her back for the last 4 years. But yeah, I fully expect Becky to walk out of that match as Raw Women's Champion. Now, to go on to Kofi versus Daniel Bryan, and this is where I'm going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons. If you think they're going to have all three babyfaces coming out of WrestleMania as champion, you've got another thing coming. That's not the WWE way. It's never really been the WWE way. The money isn't in having three face champions all at once. So if one of them is not going to happen, it's going to be Kofi. I don't believe Kofi is World Championship material. I think that he's going to give Bryan probably one of his best ever matches, but he's going to walk away the loser. So my picks are Seth to win, Becky to win, Daniel Bryan to win. I hope I didn't upset anybody with them picks, and like I said, I'm Mags. You can find me every Saturday on the Badlands Podcast, exclusive on Brainbusta Radio.
Hello there everyone and welcome to another Foul Original. Well, it's me on Wrestling Reverb. Thank you very much Josh and Kevin for having me on the show. I'm speaking to you from the past in the future because you're in Australia. But I've been asked to give my predictions for the three main events that we have on the show, and I'd like to start with the first one. The first one I'm going to kind of get out the way first, and that's Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Now, I personally think that Lesnar is probably going to win. Like, I think that Lesnar's going to win. I want Seth Rollins to win, but I've been kind of thinking this, and I did my show earlier on, and I'm thinking Lesnar, so I'm going to kind of say Lesnar. So Lesnar, even though I don't want it to happen, I think that it's going to happen and that someone may take the championship off him when they next go to Saudi. So that's Lesnar versus Rollins. Now, we also have, of course, Kofi Mania running wild. It's a new date, and the new Daniel Bryan facing off against Kofi Kingston, I think, is an amazing feud. The natural conclusion of that feud would be for Kofi Kingston to win on the grandest stage of them all, to finish his 9-year journeyman career, to which now he could add first black WWE champion to his resume. And I think that the New Day will stay together. I don't think that this breaks them up. I think that we still see maybe like a Shield-like camaraderie / competition, maybe. That's where I kind of want to see it. Now, as to who would win, I think and I hope with all my heart that it is Kofi Kingston. So I'm going to put my hat in the ring and say Kofi Kingston. I think that there may be shenanigans, and that was the only way that Daniel Bryan would win, but I feel like Daniel Bryan would want to put Kofi over at this point, and if he had the power to do so, I think he would. So Kofi Kingston to win that match. Now that leaves us with the triple threat, the main event, the women's triple threat match. Winner takes all. So this has been a fantastic build to one of the matches that I'm most excited for in all of Mania, in probably even to a certain extent all of WrestleMania weekend. And that says a lot, really. Ronda Rousey started her career not too long ago, this time last year, where she was involved in a match at WrestleMania in a tag team match with Kurt Angle against the Authority. And in that very short time, she has become absolute an absolute prodigy at what she does. She really, really is amazing, and her heel persona at the moment is just perfect. And saying that, of course, Charlotte and her insertion into this match, the way that Vince McMahon just slid her into the match, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Yes, I'm angry that Asuka had to lose her SmackDown Championship, and now she's in the women's kind of fabulous Moolah Battle Royale. But I still think that Charlotte Flair being in there as champion is great. Now, Becky Lynch, the man. Becky Lynch is walking out champion. If they know what's good for them, this match will be on last. She will walk out double champion. This will be her Austin moment. This will be the moment that gets to go down in the annals of history. The women main evented, and we had our first undisputed champion within the brand split era. Does this mean that the brand split era ends after this? I don't think so. I think that Becky Lynch could travel over both shows, but with one single tag team championship for the women's division, maybe that's where they're going with this. But yeah, so I'm going to say Lesnar for the Universal Championship. I'm going to say Kofi for the WWE Championship. And I'm going to say Doman Becky Lynch for the women's triple threat main event. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for allowing me to join on this show. Forgot where I was there for a second. But thanks Josh. Thanks Kevin. Have a great debut episode. And you can catch me on Thursdays on Brainbusta Radio. And also I will be doing some live watch alongs on youtube.com/Foul Original Wrestling. So come check me out there if you want as well. Bye everyone. This has been a Foul Original Predictions. Thanks for hearing. And back to Wrestling Reverb with Josh and Kevin Carroll.
Big thank you to all of my Brainbuster family members who sent in their predictions for WrestleMania. This has been Wrestling Reverb on the debut edition of Wrestling Reverb on Brainbuster Radio. Yeah, nearly screwed up the outro. Oh well. Enjoy WrestleMania. Catch you next Friday. Peace.